Question 2, the Olympics is the second most watched sporting event in the world, slightly after the World Cup for soccer. And many trends show that it is overtaking soccer. Many still measure, as John said, many still measure their life around these sporting events every 4 years. They get married by one Olympics, and then it's such a great party that many, many babies occur 9 months after. And I'll ask you to describe your most memorable Olympic memory or how the games have affected your life. Carl.
Well, thank you, Mr. Topics Chairman, for asking me that question. Now, being an old guy, I've watched a lot of Olympic Games for years. And I think probably my favorite sport in the Olympics, at least in the Summer Olympics, would be gymnastics. I went to Penn State, where gymnastics is the third most popular sport after football and wrestling. We don't play basketball much at Penn State. And we actually had, the year that I graduated with my master's, we actually had a gentleman who made the Olympic team. This would have been probably 1968, I think, the 68 Olympics. His name was Steve Cullen, and he had every bit of the muscles that you saw a couple of days ago if you watched the gymnastics the other night with the men's individual competition that these guys had. And he was just as good, if not better. And I remember in particular that he had one move on the still rings, and the still rings are supposed to stay still. If the rings are moving, that's bad when the Olympian is up there. I was watching for that the other night. Those rings were still. But I've seen, and the individual I'm talking about, his name was Steve Cullen, and he grabbed the rings, and after a couple of tricks, he went out into an iron cross, and then into an Olympic cross, and back into an iron cross for a grand total of 9 seconds before he went back up straight. Wow. You have to hold these moves for at least 3 seconds, the strength moves on the rings, for them to count. 2.9, you don't get credit for it, you get the deduction. Now, I don't remember how he placed in the Olympics, but it was the one time that somebody from my school actually made it there, and Penn State is one of the top gymnastics schools in the country, Mr. Topics Chairman.